Barely 6 weeks after his breakup with J-Lo, Alex Rodriguez just announced a new line of men's makeup. My dude, you gotta chill out and heal up like I did after my last breakup. Commissioned a painting of yourself as a bare-chested centaur. Oh, you already did that. Sorry, I got no other ideas. I'm no love expert. I'm just technically correct. Everybody, and welcome to the Geeks Who Drink panel show, Technically Correct. We are inviting you to play along with us on this crazy trivia ride, so listen up. In this first round, our director AJ will serve up 10 questions from the Geeks Vault that we have not seen before. We four panelists will have 2 minutes to debate and then finally choose an answer for the group. Meanwhile, you, the audience, will have just 1 minute to answer the question in chat. But to make up for that short time limit, we're giving you multiple choice options. So to register your answer, type exclamation point, the word vote, a space, and then one of the multiple choice options. It's just that simple. At the end of the 2 minutes, we will compare our collective answer to your collective answer, and so on and so forth. Last week, it was a pretty close race, so we'll see what happens this time around. So yeah, that's how the game works, but who exactly are you playing against? So glad you asked. From the top left square, I am the Quizmaster-in-Chief, Christopher Short. Then from Washington, D.C., it's Nicole Holliday. Then from Washington, not D.C., it's Jon Pio. Welcome aboard. Oh, all right. And then from an undisclosed location orbiting a planet you've never heard of, Katie Dessi. Yeah, see, there you go. I've heard of the moon.
It's not really a planet. It's just a pit stop.
Yeah, I thought it said GME to the moon, and I was like, that
did say GME.
Oh.
Many mysteries already.
Raise your hand if you've heard of Reddit.
Technically correct. Sponsored by GameStop.
All right.
That would be
anyway.
a coup.
This is a bit. We haven't done a question yet. Settle down, AJ. Give us a question.
All right, your first question of the evening, panelists. What 2009 reboot film opened with our hero fleeing a hoverbike cop in Riverside, Iowa? Riverside, Iowa.
All right.
Did the Iowans have hoverbikes? Is that the military hardware the police have in Iowa now?
They did in 2009.
2009.
Did they reboot E.T. and start from the end and film it in reverse? Like flies from the moon back down on the bicycle.
See,
I got excited because I thought it was an Ohio question and I would know it, but it isn't. It's that other state that's got vowels in it.
They're the
Also,
same,
I'm
though,
already
right?
taking the wording our hero, because my hero is Emo Phillips.
The problem is
question about him.
The problem is that every movie under the sun has been rebooted.
Yeah.
So it's not, reboot isn't even a clue.
Although, I mean, 2009 was a little bit early for the reboot everything craze. So,
I mean, they had done 21 Jump Street by then, I think.
Maybe. Yeah, that sounds about right.
And they'd had, and like we'd had how many versions of Batman by then? I think we even had our first Jumanji remake by then. I could be wrong about that. I could be wrong about that. It was definitely like early teens, late aughts.
Oh, wait, I got it. Riverside, Iowa. That's the Music Man. Professor
He's a what?
Darryl
He's a
Hill.
what?
Oh, there's trouble here in Riverside, Iowa.
No, but I
Close.
genuinely have, I mean, hoverbike, so it's got to be set in the future. Time Cop?
Oh, that's a good,
Did that
that's
get a
really good
reboot?
clip. Actually, you know what, Katie? It feels like you would be our hoverbike expert with your alien technology.
I would break my neck on a hoverbike. I have to bolt my bike down to a trainer to be able to ride it without falling. That's and I watch Law and Order SVU while I do it. It's great. But
Mariska would be proud.
Yes.
Pio, you got something for
She
this?
signed on for 2 more years. I'm so excited.
2009. That's the hard part. Was it Judge Dredd? But he's the cop, right?
Dredd was not 2009. It's more recent.
I believe that Iowa was the birthplace of one James Tiberius Kirk.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, that means it's a Star Trek thing.
Captain of the Starship Enterprise.
Captain Kirk.
Star Trek.
2009 feels like the right year for the Star Trek reboot with Chris Pine.
Ooh, I think that could be
All
it.
right, panelists, your time is up. What is your answer?
In fact, I believe he was fleeing in like a classic muscle car. I'm going to say Star Trek.
I'm fine with that.
Agree.
That is a point for the panel with Star Trek, the 2009 J.J. Abrams way overexposed Star Trek with all of the lens flare.
Why does it say hero, though?
Because James T. Kirk is the lead of the film.
He's not a superhero. He's not a hero. He's a dude.
It doesn't say superhero.
All right.
Again, if they just cast Emo Phillips, we would not be having this.
Not
argument.
all heroes wear capes.
I was about to say all heroes wear capes. Get out of my head, Nicole.
Joseph Conrad's journey of the hero. We start in the. Come on.
AJ, did the chat know it was Captain Kirk?
The chat did know that it was Captain Kirk. Answered Star Trek at 85.71% of the votes.
Well, that was very precise, very logical, almost.
Shatner was in that.
Shatner?
No, it was Christopher Pine, right?
It's Pine in the remake. Shatner is not in any of those films, but Nimoy was in 2 of them.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next question, shall we?
The next question. The world's toughest foot race runs 135 miles from Badwater Basin to Mount Whitney. In what state?
Badwater
Basin, I'm pretty sure is in whatever
right?
state ZZ Top is from. It sounds like a ZZ Top album.
Or like anybody else with beards. So like Leonard Skinner.
So the problem is like
AC/DC.
all the ones that I know of are like Tough Mudder, which is in multiple states, and it's only like 20 some odd, is it 19 or 29 miles? I know I did it and couldn't move for a week.
But it has to be just one race, not a
yeah, that's what I'm saying. The only is the Amazing Race a foot race?
They don't know. They take like cars and stuff. They cheat.
Yeah.
What about
Badwater
road
Basin
rules?
also sounds like the location where they take everybody out to shoot them in like Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
Or baptize them. Or
That
both.
would be good water.
Cartoon.
Or both.
Holy water, in fact, is the best kind of good water.
Yeah, I know. Again, like the Spartan race it's in multiple states and it's not 135 miles. It's like might be 30 or 40.
We are looking for Mount Whitney, though. So
I think I know.
Mount Whitney.
What is it? I don't know.
Strong clue.
What?
I recently read a lot of articles about what things are chuggy because I keep up with the kids and also the language. And I read an article in the Seattle Times that said that stickers, I think, from Mount Whitney were chuggy. Is that right? So that would make it.
What is chuggy?
Is chuggy the answer? Is chuggy a race or is that
First of all, is chuggy a word I'm allowed to say?
define chuggy?
Yes.
It means basic. It means basic.
Okay.
Oh. So basic
like,
is out
with
chuggy
judgment.
is in.
Well, no, it's like a thing we think the kids say, but they don't actually say it.
Oh, so it's like
old
fetch.
people say when they're trying to sound
So
like
it's
kids.
like fetch.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Then I don't feel bad for not knowing it.
Badwater Basin, I'm pretty sure, would be the lowest point in Death Valley.
The Death
in
Race?
California.
I mean, it was a good movie, but there were no
And
foot
Mount Whitney,
races.
Nicole, is that the state you were thinking of?
No, I am no longer confident.
We're looking for a state, not the name of the
I thought
race.
it might be Washington,
Yes.
but Pio would know if it was Washington.
I don't think it's
Yes,
Washington.
Katie, the word state was in the
No.
I have
question.
been trying to think of a race this
I
whole
believe
time.
the whole thing about Badwater Basin and Mount Whitney was that it would be the lowest point and the highest point.
You know
in the
what?
state of
You're right.
California.
You are right. It's in California because I know people that have been to Mount Whitney, and I
Yeah.
used to live in California.
It's a 14er.
Is that your final
It's
answer?
like the 14er in California. So I think California sounds pretty good.
I totally
California
thought that
is
they wanted-
absolutely correct.
Read the question, Katie.
I can't read. We've discussed this. I
We're
can't.
5
I
episodes
don't.
in. She's not going to start reading the question now.
Yeah,
Theo.
no.
God bless you for trying.
Chat
Text
also
is
agreed
really
with you.
small.
People are incapable of change. You're right. Let's feel hopeful about the
can't
rest of
read
our
it.
lives.
It's so tiny.
It's always just a good tip for you guys if you go out and play a Geeks Who Drink quiz. Usually, the last part of the question is what and then a noun, and that will help you know what the answer to the question
Stop
is.
giving away all the Geeks Who Drink secrets, Christopher.
That's right. Secrets behind the scenes with the Quizmaster in Chief. That's
Yeah, I was trying
our
to think
next
of a
Twitch
race.
show. Look for it. Check your local listings. All right. What's question 3?
Question number 3 this evening. The Barbz are the rabid fans of what rapper whose aliases include Harajuku Barbie?
I mean, there's only one thing that makes sense to me.
I'm desperate to know what is the only thing that makes sense to you.
It's the only thing in the world. Let's hear it.
No, I mean, like, Nicki Minaj is the only rapper that I would ever describe as a Harajuku Barbie, or maybe
Okay.
Gwen Stefani, but she's not a rapper.
Well,
No,
it depends
she
on how
has tried.
liberally they're using rapper.
But Barbz
knows how to
makes
spell the names of
absolutely no
fruits.
sense to me because there's no B anywhere in Nicki Minaj.
I'm thinking Cardi B then, maybe? I don't know. I don't listen to the raps.
She's not Harajuku, like not even close though.
Well, explain to us what Harajuku is, Katie.
It's that like Japanese style where it's like wildly like bubbly and cute and animated, which is exactly what Nicki Minaj is.
And like the pink hair and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's the name of Gwen Stefani's like perfume line, I think. But
Well,
all-
also,
Harajuku Girl, I believe. I don't
Yeah.
know why I know that. I have no idea.
It's
You got
Nicki
some explaining to do.
It's Nicki Minaj, and the internet will come for you if you don't pay proper respects. So,
But why is
Yeah.
it Barbz though? That has nothing to do with her name.
because it's like a Barbie. She's like a Barbie. Exactly.
yeah, you can
You're
play with
right.
our human dolls, which are like idealized.
Barbz
beauty.
is for Barbie, not for
Yes.
Nicki or Minaj.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nicole, are we in danger right now? Are we?
Yeah.
should we-
Katie, stop talking. They're gonna come for you.
I,
We're in
I
danger.
described her as cute and bubbly. What's to come for me for? It's very
And-
complimentary.
I say, and I actually did confuse her with Cardi B a couple of weeks ago, and nothing happened to me yet.
I also immediately will shut down any consideration that Cardi B and Harajuku are words that would be used in the same sentence.
It's true. That doesn't really make sense.
Barbz, I do not know these people. I know Nicole. I do not know the others.
I mean, you've seen a Nicki Minaj music video, right?
I have, yes. I don't
Okay,
know.
yeah.
I don't know
That's-
you, is what I'm saying.
I really want the answer to this question to be Barbara Billingsley.
Barbara Streisand.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, so I mean, if it didn't have the word rap in there, I'd go with Babs and then just assume that no one knew what the word Harajuku meant.
Like Babs Bunny.
All right, panelists.
Nicole, I think you're the most confident about our team answer. Why don't you get
Yeah,
that?
Katie was right in her first claim. It is Nicki Minaj.
It is, in fact,
no one
Nicki
else that
Minaj. Katie
no one else
stumbled
it
her
could
way into a
possibly
correct answer.
I mean, who else would it have been?
We're safe. We're
the
safe,
chat-
everyone.
The chat for the first time tonight was 100% in agreement with you.
Chat,
They
you
wanna
should never
be
listen to
too.
me. Even if it
I
makes
remember
sense,
the-
if I say it, assume it's wrong.
The first time I heard Nicki Minaj was her feature on My Chick Bad in like a cab in Philadelphia, and it was like, what the hell is this, and how do I hear more of it?
My Chick Bad is my very favorite song to run to
My Chick Bad is a
by
fantastic
Ludacris.
song.
Philadelphia is my favorite city to run from.
All right, we got one more question before break, so let's piss on Philadelphia some more somehow.
As a matter of fact, no. Twist of Faith is a memoir by a certain Mrs. Beller, founder of what mall snack chain?
Mrs. Beller, she was a mall snack.
What's a mall? What is a mall?
I just really hope that like a Twist of Faith is what Faith Hill started, and it was like a strip pole, and she just wound around it in the middle of a Canadian mall. She's Canadian, right?
What are you doing?
I think you're.
I'm right. I think she's Canadian. Is it? Oh no, is it Shania Twain?
Shania is
It's
Canadian,
one of those country ladies.
Right. There's a lot of problems with what you said, but how could it be a chain if it's just the same person?
She goes from location to location. She's only there for you have 30-minute window once a month, and it's just Faith Hill twisting around a stripper pole, like right next to
isn't
Sbarro
that the
Pizza.
way that love's supposed to be?
This is a hair braiding thing, right? The Twist of Fate.
Which is
That's right.
the one.
I was also Caucasian in 1999. I don't know if you realized that.
She did the Con Air song, right?
Did she? I remember. All I know is I can feel you breathe. That thing.
How
You
do
don't
I?
know, the way you love me? I love the way you love me.
Who did the Con Air song?
Faith Hill.
Nick
I
Cage,
remember
right?
the Con Air song.
I don't know.
The one that plays like he gets off the plane.
And his hair goes like that.
How do I? I think that's what it's called.
How do I live? That's
Yeah.
Leanne Rimes.
Yeah.
They're all the same.
They
Oh
are-
no,
I mean,
Leanne
they're all
Rimes was a teen phenom.
They're all from that same
dare
era
disrespect.
anyway, and they all sold a very large number of albums. Remember Amazed
bought
by
none
Lone
of
Star? That's a
them.
good song.
That was.
I went
Should
to-
we think about mall snacks?
Auntie M's.
I think about mall snacks all the time.
Auntie Anne's.
Auntie Anne.
I wish the answer were Cinnabon because that's what I really want to be eating right now. But
No,
I
it's
think
Auntie. It's Auntie Anne, but it's some Auntie Anne's on certain days of the year. Faith Hill is in fact twisting around a pretzel-shaped stripper pole. The kids have to go home for that.
That sounds non-Euclidean and also somewhat arousing. So
Well,
thank
they
you for
take the
that.
butter from
Yeah.
the vat, they wipe it down, there's salt, it
Oh,
sparkles.
no, you made it
I
weird.
swear, just for Katie's benefit, I'm going to buy an air horn for next week. Your time is up. What is your answer?
Auntie Anne.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
Auntie Anne is incorrect. It's Auntie
Really?
Anne's.
Oh,
Auntie
said that.
Anne's.
bugger off.
The chat also got that correct 100% this evening.
And
I hope their other
better.
options were like Gap, Sephora, and Target.
There's snacks. Snacks, Katie.
You can get snacks at all those places if you play your cards right.
You can eat perfume.
Yeah, a little
right.
a little while at least.
Not what I meant.
Well, that brings us halfway through our first round and up to our first commercial break. I don't have a witty joke here. Just don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in a second. Hello, everybody. We are back with more allegedly witty trivia banter on Technically Correct. Remember, you can join in the fun. Every time AJ asks a question, you'll have 1 minute to type an exclamation point, the word vote, a space, and then your answer from the multiple choice options that we give you in the chat. Do that. Do it. AJ, what's our next question?
Our next question, panelists. Now a museum, Prince's former musical headquarters shares its name with what fabric pattern?
First of all, thank goodness it's a museum now. I got to get to that museum one of these
I
days.
hope it's the polka dots. Just because polka is the name of a music genre that he didn't participate in.
That
Not
we
that you know of.
Yeah, he's got a large unreleased catalog.
Yeah, okay. Here's I'm
Eccentric.
generally he's got I love like Little Red Corvette and Raspberry Beret, but in general, I'm not like a big Prince fan. But if he did polka, I would listen to that.
Definitely.
I
He
mean,
could do a great polka.
If he did polka, he would do it better than anyone else. I'm fairly certain of
Well,
that.
polka's terrible. The bar is low, and there's not much room to go down.
Now, it takes a little bit to top Myron Florin, the lead accordion player from the Lawrence Welk Show, a legend of polka, and I haven't heard many do it better than good old Myron Florin. But Prince, I believe, could have.
It would also be fun. Did he ever wear stripes? It would also be fun if they called it the White Stripes Museum, but it was really about Prince, and then a lot of people like showed up and got confused. I would do that.
It would be purple stripes. We can't pretend that we don't know that part.
I'm weird because my favorite Prince album is the soundtrack to Tim Burton's Batman.
It's a fantastic album.
It's a fantastic album.
Yeah.
Except, of course, for I believe there is a song that's sung by both Kim Basinger and Michael Keaton, right? Like they did a duet, which is odd. They've appeared on an album by Prince. Such is life.
Tapestry would be another fun one because then Carole King fans would show up. Really, there are a lot of fabric.
It's not such a pattern, yeah.
Is it not?
No, it's a type of
weaving. Yeah.
It would still be a fun thing to call a Prince
It's a textile
museum.
of some sort.
Just to like.
You guys, Geeks Who Drink has a Quizmaster convention, and the first one that I went to was in Minneapolis. And what I did in my free time was go to Paisley Park.
Why Paisley?
Prince's museum.
Paisley Park, also where they recorded the Mystery Science Theater 3000 movie.
Why Paisley?
Really?
That's the shit he was about.
Did he wear Paisley?
Time is up, panelists. What is your answer?
Works for me.
Nicole, what is it?
Paisley.
It is, in fact, Paisley. Paisley Park. And
Argyle, that would be a good one.
And the chat also agreed with you 100% on that.
Did he have a song or an album with Paisley in it, or is it just why not?
No, he just says he likes that fabric.
Paisley rules.
And we can't question Prince's motives that much.
Prince was a fancy man. I think that's safe to say.
Paisley's a little
I'm not going
dated.
too far on a limb.
Well, dated by like 500 years.
Yeah, but Prince came up like in the psychedelic era. It was very, it's part of his DNA. All right.
Fair.
Well, let's just do another question, I guess.
Next question. 2 emoticons grace the Girl Scout badge for what portmanteau that means not being a cyber butthole?
All right, so first of all, for the younger children watching our show, emoticons were like emoji that you had to type.
No, they know them. They use them.
Yeah.
They still use them?
Yeah.
Yes.
It just sometimes auto replaces with an emoji.
Yeah, that always. I still like to use emoticons myself. I am of a certain age, of course.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
I've heard that they're perceived as more sincere because they take more effort.
But is the term emoticon chuggy, Nicole? Do you think that's accurate? No, not the term emoticon.
No,
And more importantly, you seem pretty knowledgeable. Are you that kind of linguist?
Actually,
Okay.
I'm adjacent to that.
Are you adjacent? Linguist adjacent to that?
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad we get to keep that 5-week joke running. So.
Is there a word for cyber butthole? Like bully? Is that
the opposite of cyberbullying?
Yeah.
Cyber helping?
And of course, if you're a cyber butthole adjacent, that makes you a cyber taint.
No.
No?
I'm just going to go ahead and stop the show.
I know my cyber anatomy.
It's over the line. If this has anything to do with, if this doesn't have anything to do with cookies, I have no idea. I'm going to say that right off the bat.
Okay.
Don't eat the brownies. That's the only rule I know.
It has to be a portmanteau.
Yeah, that narrows
Does
it
it
down.
have cyber in it?
I don't. That's what I'm saying. Like I can't think of a word like cyber friend.
Well,
cyber angel.
As long as I'm divulging Geeks Who Drink editorial tips, the fact that the word cyber is in the question means that it's probably not in the answer.
E-friend? E-buddy?
Digital pal?
E-ain't? E-nice?
So here's what I think. And
Digifriend?
this goes
Digipal?
back also to the early days of the internet, which is why emoticons would be so appropriate for it, because I believe the answer is netiquette.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is a code of conduct. It's not like
It means not being a cyber butthole.
it's a code of conduct.
Good online manners.
Etiquette is not being a butthole. Netiquette is not being a cyber butthole. QED. AJ's the answer, netiquette.
The answer is, in fact, netiquette.
Yeah.
I don't like the way this question was worded. I feel like I'm gonna give myself a side
You
point.
rarely do, Katie.
I was going to say we haven't found one yet. AJ, did the chat know about netiquette?
The chat did, in fact, know about netiquette. 100% of the vote.
I've seen the chat on our Twitch channel. I'm surprised they knew about netiquette.
I've never heard
But
of it.
you can know about it and casually discard it.
Guess it. They outright reject it.
Gotta know the rules to break them.
Exactly.
All right. Well, ask me another, as the old book went.
Next question. The only one not named for her familial role, Honey is the youngest member of what kid-lit clan?
I need a quick web redemption. Ask Me Another was the title of a book in the 1920s that kicked off the first trivia revolution. I've got a copy now.
So like there was a
That's
mama and a papa and a sonny and a daughtery and Honey. Honey Boo Boo? Here comes Honey Boo Boo.
Or like a mom, dad,
Oh,
brother.
honey. No, here
kid.
comes Honey Boo Boo work because it was Mama Mama
Kid-
June.
This is
Mama
not Kid
June?
Lit. It has nothing to do with Kid Lit.
You don't
What
know
are
that they
doing?
didn't make an adaptation.
It wasn't very literary. Oh my god, that would be amazing. A Honey Boo Boo novel series.
Yeah, like think about like a fun picture series.
yeah.
They'd have to stop when Mama June's like other
yeah.
on film.
Yeah.
that other
Just rewrite
job.
it. Just the Kids Bop version.
Sounds like you have your multi-million-dollar idea. Take it and
There you
run.
That's the only famous Honey I know is Boo Boo, and the other character was named for her familiar role.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
There are other honeys.
There was
There's
no one called Honey though.
Honey Writer from Dr. No.
I don't know that.
Well, now you
I know
do.
Honey Boo Boo.
It's the first James Bond movie and like the third novel, something like that.
I mean, in Goldilocks, was there a honey bear?
I don't know if I'm in the right universe to answer this question correctly, right? This could be from the parallel one, right? This is a Mandela effect question, isn't it?
What?
So there is.
Was it the Berenstain Bears?
It is
Is
the
that what you're
Berenstain
hinting
Bears.
at?
There is a theme song that is, because again of a certain age, is indelibly etched into my brain, which is, "We are the Berenstain Bears, Mama, Papa, sister, brother. We appreciate each other." Thank you.
Aw.
You didn't say honey anywhere in that, though.
I think Honey was like one of those late season replacements where, like, sister and brother weren't cute enough anymore, so they had a baby.
They brought on Honey.
That's right.
Can we get a remix of that intro song one of these days, Christopher? That was fantastic.
Well, I'm just gonna take that and then loop it and add a dubstep bed and like do some stretchies and some squeezies and some reverbies. And
I'm
then
so
we'll sell
glad
it.
my camera is off right now. What is your answer? What is your answer?
Honey Boo Boo.
Berenstain. I think it's the
Berenstain Bears.
Berenstain Bears.
Am I getting overruled here?
Yes.
Damn.
It is the Berenstain Bears.
Mama, Papa, sister, and me. We
And
are the
that was-
level tree.
That was the first question of the evening for the chat to shit the bed on. They went with Boxcar Children.
That's what you get for
Wait, did you say they live in a tree? What tree is supporting the weight of 5 bears,
a
apparently?
split level tree.
Yeah. They're fake. They're
That's
not
why
real.
it's split. That's why it's split. The weight of 5 bears living in
They're
the tree
cartoons.
causes
They don't
it
weigh
to
that
split.
much.
It's a fair point.
But then the tree probably doesn't weigh that much either.
Let's have a couple more questions.
Oh, I guess we can do a couple of more.
Hopefully
You-
the songs I can sing.
You can be a creative cat, a data head, or a star performer when playing what board game?
I have a very adult friend, and like until she was 25, this was somehow her favorite game to play. It's
A
very.
very adult friend. Is that what you just said?
How adult?
Oh, not that kind of adult. No,
How
no, no,
adult was she?
No. I mean, she's like a minister now, so it wasn't that kind of adult friend.
Interesting.
Those things are not mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
She's not Catholic.
Was she a creative cat, a data head, or a star performer?
She was not really good at any of them, but what she really loved were the humdingers. And That went over very well with her
Spoilers,
future
Katie,
fiance.
spoilers.
I mean, like, so I mean, and
Here's the deal: if you don't know the answer, you're not. Humdinger's not going to help you.
And another way that we know she's not Catholic, because of course, once you enter the Catholic priesthood, you're no longer
No more
allowed to
humdingers.
enjoy humdingers. Yeah.
No more humdingers for priests.
Gotta take a vow.
Do nuns have to lay off
Hey-o.
humdingers?
Yeah. But to go back to our previous statement, you have to know the rules to break them, right?
Yeah, if you've never known the temptation of a humdinger.
Yeah, I don't know what this game is as well, because I prefer heavier games. I'm more of a Twilight Imperium.
Oh, okay. So this is why she liked it. There was something called a humdinger, and she thought she could hum. She also, there's Play-Doh comes in the box, and she liked playing with the Play-Doh. Not real in the context of the game, you're supposed to sculpt stuff. She also always lost those points. We tried to play Trivial Pursuit from time to time, but neither of us were good. I'm terrible at trivia for those of you who haven't figured this out.
No.
What it sounds like, this is a story of perseverance on the part of your friend, because it doesn't sound like she was very good at this game, but she liked it.
No. Well, she liked it because while losing, she could play with Play-Doh at the age of 25, and that.
Oh, your very adult friend.
It was
God.
My
bad at
very
the
adult.
game,
Yeah.
But she had the patience of a saint, hence her calling to the ministry.
Yeah, no. It is cranium.
Yeah.
It's the only game I know that comes with Play-Doh, that's for sure.
I think that's the second question that Katie knew this evening. That is, in fact, cranium.
Yeah.
Naj, I knew Auntie. Whatever.
Auntie something.
It's-
I'd have gone with
Lydia?
Auntie M.
Aunt Lydia.
I'd have gone with Auntie M.
The chat
How about the chat? Yeah.
the chat also got that correct 100%. Would you like another question?
But how do they feel about humdingers? Can we get that?
Need
poll?
another question.
How does the
question?
chat feel about humdingers? Is that what
That
you
was
just
a
asked?
question?
Seems very
Is this
dangerous.
pro humdinger chat? I don't know.
All right, moving on. Your next question. The Dazer Laser is a non-lethal, nausea-inducing weapon that targets what specific body?
Body parts. I think you cut out for me there at the end, but that's good. The Dazer Laser.
So
Non-lethal.
days makes me think like woo, but nausea makes me think like ugh.
I mean, this is a great name for a carnival ride, right? The Dazer Laser. Listen to some Guns N' Roses while that thing spins around.
Dazer Laser sounds like if you were to like create a professional wrestler for a children's cartoon.
I mean, if I offer someone a humdinger and they pass, I'm going to give them a Dazer Laser.
yeah, well, it's polite, right?
Yeah.
That's
And they-
etiquette.
It's etiquette. The whole thing about non-lethal weapons reminds me of. Did you guys ever see that movie Mystery Men? So Ben Stiller and William H. Macy and Janine Garofalo and Paul Rubens and I'm going to say Kel Thompson.
Kel!
I take it you're a fan of that film.
Kel Mitchell. Kel Thompson.
William H. Macy was in it too.
Yes.
William H. Macy was in it, and
Wasn't Smash Mouth in it as well, or at least they did the song?
Wes
You're
Stevens
thinking
in
of
it, and
Shrek.
Tom Waits. But Tom Waits was the designer of a designer of non-lethal weapons in that film.
No, so I used that in the.
And in real life as well, just so you know.
Perhaps
There was a scene where they had like a bubble gun, not a bubble gum, and I used that scene for that like non-lethal weapon video around mashup. That's the
makes
only
me
part of it I've ever
anxious.
seen.
I don't like I don't like weapons.
It's got. I mean, here's the deal. My head says it has to be the brain because I do know. You're saying no. I mean, I like to be dazed. That is a. It gives
It's
you a
not
headache.
it's not a specific body part.
Yeah, I feel like making a weapon that shoots people in the brain is frowned upon in
So
pretty much all circles.
I don't know.
Head.
But I thought about the inner ear.
No, I think
That
it's
can
the
make me
eyes.
nauseated.
I think it's the eyes. I think it's the strobe lights.
Then it would be the
Oh.
gazer laser.
They really missed that.
All right, your time is up,
Gaze,
panelists. What is your
Okay,
answer?
let's start with head, and if they make us be more specific,
say
let's start with head. Head.
Head is too non-specific. I would have bounced
All right.
that at a Geeks Who Drink quiz.
Okay, then we'll go eyes.
My first thought was eyes. Yeah.
I'm going with ears.
I still
Yeah.
think it's the brain.
I think
Are
you're
any
daze-
of us right? We're gonna
you're
submit all of
daze
those.
People. You're dazzling.
The correct answer is the eyes. The eyes.
The eyes have it.
The eyes have it. Chat was torn 50-50 between ears and eyes.
It's because I was very persuasive, and I apologize, chat.
I still think
either
you could
way,
non-lethally
your
target the brain.
otolaryngologist can help you.
It's this, and I don't know that just because I watched lots of protest footage or am possibly involved with them. That's not me. Not at all.
All right, now's the time of the evening where we find out if I've counted correctly. Is it time for a commercial break?
One more question before our commercial break.
I keep threatening to send you an abacus. One of these days, I'm going to actually do it. Yeah.
All right, well, let's do one.
All right, our final question.
We've rented the space.
Our final question to round out technically correct. Home to a giant sewage pond called Norloch, which UK capital has the nickname Ald Riki?
Now, we're going to commercial break.
Old Detroit. OLDE Detroit.
In the UK.
So I said
Yeah,
old.
it narrows it down to 4.
So I said old.
Well, does the Isle of Man count? I don't know.
Does the Isle of Man have a capital?
Is Loch Ness?
Is it a real place? I don't know.
The capital of the Isle of Man is just Barry Gibb, I think.
I just want to make sure that does mean old stinky, right? I've got a vomiting cat behind me.
Well, it is a giant sewage pond, so yeah, I think that's probably fair.
Old Riki.
Probably Riki means.
I don't know where the action's happening, but somewhere there's.
Etymologically, it's related to the verb reek.
What does Old Lang Syne mean? I know that everyone sings it in New York. I have no idea what it means.
For old time's sake, right?
So they're saying just like.
Was it a literal translation or not? But,
so just like for the hell of it, basically.
I think that you're actually. You're kind of on the right track there because Auld Lang Syne was written by good old Robbie Burns, and that is.
I thought that was a character on The Simpsons.
How they spell old in the language of a certain constituent country of the UK.
England?
No, they spell that the way that we do. Believe it or not.
Wells?
Wells,
right.
yes, Wells, H.G. Wells, you got it.
Okay.
Scotland?
What are our options for capitals? How about
and
that?
Ireland.
List them out.
It's one of those
Northern
four,
Ireland.
and you have led me to believe that it's
Northern
not
Ireland.
England.
It's not England.
I know that
the same language as us.
I know that the Wells have like a very different language.
The Welsh, it's very very different. Yeah,
Welsh do, yes.
Is it Wells?
It's Wales.
Welsh.
Wales, Welsh,
where the Welsh live.
You're getting right in between
I'm
Wales
saying,
and Welsh.
I'm saying.
All right, panelists, your time is up. What is your...
Scotland, where Robert Burns came from would be Edinburgh, right?
Oh, it's Scotland. I know that.
You know of Scotland? Is that what you're saying,
No,
Katie?
I know that Edinburgh.
It is correct. Edinburgh is the answer.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I wanted a country. God damn it.
Capital.
Once again. Well,
Reading.
Okay, here's the deal. You need an abacus. I need like.
hard to believe that happened again, and yet here
The
we
cat in
are
the
at
hat.
the end of round 1. When we come back from this break, it's time for Technically Incorrect, where Pio is always lying. Because we all are. That's our job. We'll see you right after this. Welcome back to Technically Correct, and specifically to our second round, Technically Incorrect. But before we get to that, remember that you can check out Geeks Who Drink pub quizzes in bars across America just about every night, and live online most nights, including right here on Twitch every Monday. We're in hundreds, I think literally hundreds of bars across America now. You can even hire us to do a quiz just for you. For more information about all of that, make sure that you check out our website, which of course is geekswhodrink.com, as well as our robust social media presence, hashtag brand love. All right, now Technically Incorrect. In this round, the panel will still have 2 minutes to answer each question. But there's no more teamwork. It's everyone for themselves. That means that we're going to be actively trying to psych each other out. And if we wind up psyching you out too, oh well. At the end of the timer, we're still, now we're going to write down our answers and see who got them right. But your job it's going to be exactly the same as it was before. You're just going to answer the question in that first minute by typing in the chat. The way to do that, of course, exclamation point, the word vote, a space, and then one of the multiple choice options that we have so kindly furnished for you there. I'm going to make sure that I have my dry erase marker. I do. There's a Sharpie around here too. That's just asking for trouble. And let's launch this thing. AJ, give us a question.
All right, your first question for technically incorrect. Baby in a Box was a 1945 article about the creepy glass air crib built by what scientist?
Holy shit. The creepy glass air crib built by what scientist? Pio.
It's one of Tesla's, I'm sure it is, one of Tesla's put that together. He's all like, we have wireless power, we got babies in glass coffins. That's what he's into. And that's where I would definitely say Tesla for this one. You should choose that one.
All right. Nicole?
It doesn't say that the scientist had to be contemporary, like to the time. So I feel like that's some Charles Darwin shit. Just put them in a glass box, see how they do.
It's very British, yes.
I'm going with that.
Put the Baron in a glass cabinet.
Survival of the most translucent. Katie, you have a cat now.
I do.
All right, if I'm not mistaken. But please don't get any help from your cat. What's your answer to this question?
Animal, what do you think? What's
No.
that? She
Forbidden.
Animal's pretty sure it's Mr. Wizard.
The 80s TV scientist.
Yeah, it's also the only scientist she knows.
She talks to cats. She's a witch.
No, I mean, here's the deal. My money's on someone Russian or German. I just don't actually know any Russian or German scientists. But
Well,
I
there
feel
haven't
like
been that many.
I feel like around 1945, those types of scientists are doing some really not good things.
I see. Well, okay. Honestly, by 1945, the Germans weren't doing a lot of science at all.
They were busy.
Cowering in holes.
They were counting bodies.
To get slaughtered by various nations. They didn't like them.
Several. No, I don't know. I mean, yeah, that sounds like some Russian.
Yeah, that feels to me
German
like too
thing.
early for
Time
Dr. Spock, for
is
instance.
up. What are your answers, panel? Oppenheimer, Edison, Einstein, and Skinner.
He was always putting things in boxes.
I don't think that's what a Skinner box
Skinner
is,
box,
man. That's not what a Skinner box is.
We're talking about incubators, right? Just to be clear, baby incubators.
Dude, I want to start a Brazilian wax studio and call it the Skinner
Christopher has lucked his way into his first point of the round with BF Skinner.
Yeah.
That was dumb luck.
No, he knew it. He really knew it.
Did you?
I thought it might be, and I had no other plausible.
Why was he putting babies in glass cribs?
It was his thing,
Incubators,
man.
right?
Like, look, why does Gallagher keep smashing things with sledgehammers? It's his bit.
I was convinced it was going to be a Russian or a German, though. I would not have written anyone American.
All right. Well,
The chat
already winning. Let's shut down the show. Oh, yes, the chat.
the chat went with Jonas Salk as their answer.
Fuck you,
He's a
chat.
polio guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, as a matter of
right.
Can I
fact.
get a point for that? Can I get a point for that?
Absolutely not. People
I'll
can
give-
have different interests.
I'll give
different
give
sciences.
Katie a pity point for that tonight.
It is about the right
Hey.
timing. Yeah, I mean, it's all right.
Let's move on to the next question.
Please.
Flavor Flav, Bret Michaels, and Scott Baio all looked for love on what cable channel?
Oh my goodness.
What's cable?
These days, that's a valid question. That is a valid question these days.
All right. It's probably also on, like YouTube TV and Fubo TV and Sling and Hulu Live.
And Crackle and Snapcase and Crossbow.
Don't forget
and
Quibi.
Quibi,
Oh,
Butcher Block,
rest in pease, Quibi.
Mushroom
Going out for
Head.
Quibi. All right. Katie, you're a devoted connoisseur of trash
I
television, right?
love reality TV, and I
Yeah.
watched this one, and I'm going to give you a free answer. It's Bravo.
Oh, yeah, I bet you're right. They do a lot of shit like that.
They
Part of the
do.
Holy Trinity.
They also have Top Chef, which is a way better. I love Top Chef, and I don't know if they've got a new season out, and I need to see if I need to procure it.
Yeah, they filmed one in a bubble.
In a glass baby case.
Hang on, but that one has already aired last year, right?
I'm confused. Maybe. I don't know.
I just don't know if I've seen the most recent season. Oh, hang on. The last season I saw was all winners or all four. It was an all-star season.
Hey, Pio, do you watch a lot of reality TV? You got an answer for us?
Absolutely not. What's television? I still don't actually know. Now, I feel like this is one of the music ones, right? A lot of people think it might be one of the music ones, but could it be QFC? Because the music ones might have been fake. It was on QFC. QVC, sorry. QFC.
Yeah.
QFC is where I get groceries, or I did in the before times. But QVC, they all fell in love with rookie baseball cards on QVC.
And I remember at QFC, the grocery store, that stood for quality fucking comestibles.
I dropped my marker.
Nicole!
So in contrast to Pio, I do think it's a music one. I don't remember what the Scott Balo one was called, but I think the first one was Flavor Flav.
Flavor of Love.
So I think it's MTV.
Okay.
Flavor of Love.
Well,
All right, your time is up, panel. What are your answers? VH1 all around. You were incorrect. No, I'm just kidding. It is VH1.
No, we weren't. Saw that one.
Joke about my VH1. It's very serious, sir.
What is that?
That sounds amazing. I prefer that.
Oh.
I prefer that pronunciation.
Sounds like a much better channel, doesn't it? Yeah.
I was like, that's not what any of those were called, Nicole.
That is a great euphemism.
I believe that chat probably got that one right.
They did, in fact, get that one right.
Yeah. All right.
Here's the
Well,
deal. If
good
it had
for
come out
you.
10 years later, it would have been on Bravo. Maybe Oxygen.
Or E. It could have been on E.
No, E does like the tabloidy stuff.
I need to be on E to watch any of those. That's for sure.
Does anybody in chat know what the Scott Baio one was called, since we've asked about that?
I didn't know there
Andrew,
was
did you
one.
write that?
Joni loves Chachi.
I don't know who Scott Baio is. I know that
Chachi
he's
loves,
you're missing out.
Chachi loves someone.
He was Charles in charge.
I thought it was John
Scott
Travolta.
Baio was 45 and single.
I don't know that. Is that. Oh, that was the show or the movie?
That was the show.
45 and singles. Also, they're gonna call.
What was the John
Trump
Travolta
divorce
show if it wasn't Charles in
proceedings.
charge?
Am I right? Whatever.
You're right, Christopher.
What was the John Travolta show? I thought it was Charles in charge.
Welcome back, Cotter.
Come back
No, that
on
was the
the
Fonz.
last TV. No.
No,
Happy
that was
Right.
John Travolta.
Well, we could take this trip down memory lane as long as we would like, but why don't we go ahead and move on and do another question?
Not my memory, someone's memory. It's very
Seems more
foggy.
gainful. Yeah.
IBM says Mayo is a good substitute for thermal paste when connecting a cooling unit to what PC component?
I got a cooling unit for you right here, buddy.
You got some
Kevin-
mayonnaise for it?
Kevin Costner.
This is horrifying. I
All
don't
right.
like it. Sounds like
It's-
hot mayonnaise. I don't want anything to do with hot mayonnaise.
It's chemistry. Don't be afraid of chemistry, Nicole. And
Well, Jon
technology.
Pio, it feels like we've grooved this one to you, our resident technology expert.
Now, let me tell you, you can spread mayo on almost every single part of a computer. It will be fine. In fact, it might be preferred to do that on certain parts. But for the best thermal paste use, you're going to want to spread it on your graphics card GPU. Why? Because it generates some of the most heat in your entire machine. So,
Yeah, and you're going to have rancid mayonnaise stinking up your entire...
To be clear, IBM doesn't suggest this to do it regularly. It's like, in case of emergency, apply mayonnaise.
No
How
one is
often do
getting
you apply
getting
emergency-
laid in that room. That's all I'm saying.
How often do you apply emergency thermal paste?
when there is
twice a night if
an
it's
emergency.
a good time.
The thermal emergency. Nicole, how about you?
I hate this condiment and I hate this question. It makes me anxious. I don't like hot.
Oh, mayonnaise is disgusting.
There could be mayonnaise in your computer right now, Nicole.
I built mine. There's no mayonnaise in there.
I can't. It's like, it feels like Fear Factor.
Eating mayonnaise, you would do very poorly on Fear Factor if mayonnaise is your threshold.
Most insects are things I'd rather eat than mayonnaise. I feel like maybe it's the only thing that I think gets hot on my computer is like the charger. So I'm gonna go with like the charging brick. I don't know. I don't use a PC.
Yeah,
charger,
the
like your
power
cell
cord,
phone charging cable.
It's warm.
You have a laptop. You have a laptop.
Brick. The power brick is
The
that
power brick. Yes, thank you.
Plenty of things get hot on my computer.
Spread mayonnaise on all.
And on that note, you're out of time. What are your answers, panel? CPU, 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 and CPU. Katie, what does CPU stand for?
Central processing unit.
Oh, you're correct. That is CPU. The chat also got that correct.
And yes, you can put mayonnaise on all the parts. It'll be fine. Anything that gets hot, mayonnaise.
No, that is actually the last place you should be putting mayonnaise because then it will smell.
Can I smear it on my monitor? Will that do anything?
You'll be fine.
And if you really want to.
You can also put bologna in your optical drive.
Nicole and I are never visiting y'all's houses. That's what I'm. You just open the door and it's like an army of dirty feet sweating smell.
So we
know the chat got CPU right.
Correct, they did.
Oh, yeah.
You know one way to keep Katie out of her house is now. Nice.
Hot mayonnaise.
Hot mayonnaise.
Get one of those oil warmers and dollop of mayonnaise just right at the front door.
I believe we've got one more this side of the break. Is that right, AJ?
Yes, we have one more question, and here it is.
Talk about smearing mayonnaise on
coming at you.
Yeah.
When queen bees are in their mating stage, they throw big orgies with what lower bee class?
Well,
our resident bee orgy expert, Christopher.
Hey, I'm moderating this thing. No. The real question is how much mayo do they have around for this?
No, you want to keep it hot.
None.
You want to keep it hot, so no mayo.
Probably none.
Well, all of the types of bees are lower class than the queen, right? Like there's literally only one of the queen.
You have the bumbles and the honeys.
Well, those are different species of bees.
Yeah, and then the queen's at the top.
Above the queen is the parliament, I believe, and the prime minister.
So my recollection is that essentially all of these lower bee classes are like, apiary, whatever the hell they call that. A very old art. It's named after like medieval classes, and I believe this would be peasant bees. That is my answer.
That's not a thing. No one should write that.
Fuck you.
No one write that.
It is.
Christopher's almost right. It is a type of. They are mason bees specifically.
That is also
Peasants
a
are
lie.
Masons. Mason bees.
Is also a lie.
Nicole, let's see if you can throw one past Katie, who apparently is our fucking bee cop
the
tonight.
bee orgy expert, Katie.
I don't know about bees.
I'm into all kinds of
I find
orgies.
this argument that they were, kind of caste system bee naming conventions. I like it. So I don't know, like I can't.
You can't have orgies with the untouchables. That's like a contradiction in terms.
Well, you can. It's just going to be a nice, clean one that no one's got to bust the mop bucket out for at the end of.
Yeah, were they janitor bees?
I just like how much the discussion of mayonnaise has thrown Nicole, who's an A-level learned leaguer type person, number one in the league. So I think your secret is out to all of your competition.
She's just imagining an orgy.
So
So, I mean, bees are frightening too. Like, have you seen the beard
Time
guy?
is up. What are your answers?
Nicolas Cage would hate this question.
Drone. What? I can't read that, Nicole.
It says worker.
Worker.
There's negbait in this question. One of these two is right.
It also looked like hooker bees, but
The correct answer is drones.
Yeah.
Drones. Chat also got that correct 100%.
Yeah, I was torn between those two. I feel afraid.
Between what other one?
That was
Wicker.
Was that actually a thing?
Dirty.
No, a
I don't-
worker bee is a kind of bee.
I didn't know that. The only thing I know though is that drones get to boink a lot. That's
A
what I know.
mason bee is a real type of bee. It's not
I didn't think. I don't know any of that. The only thing I knew for certain was that the drone bees get to bang the queen.
And then, of course, there's the Cardi bee, who makes
That's what
macaroni in the pot.
I already made that
All right,
joke.
Did we check in with the chat?
Yes.
We did check in with the chat. They got that 100%.
I was sorry. I was too flustered picturing that hot bee orgy action. So
There's no. It's frightening as all get out.
that brings us to the 40% mark of technically incorrect, and hence our penultimate ad break of the evening. Hurry right back for more hot insect action right here.
And mayonnaise orgies.
Hey, welcome back to Technically Incorrect, where all of the answers are super sus. My 8-year-old told me to say that. Ignore all that, and in the first minute of the timer, look for the multiple choice options and type exclamation point, the word vote, a space, and then your answer. And try to pick one that's actually right. That's what you're here to do. AJ, start us off.
Our first question of the next round. Sharing an arena with the Suns, Phoenix's WNBA team is named for what celestial body?
That is a
Venus.
very good question. All right. Well, where are we going to start? Katie, I just saw you nodding emphatically. What did you?
I said Venus.
Venus. I see. The Phoenix Venus. That's hard to say.
Venuses.
Oh, that would be really
It's
fun
the
to say.
Venuses.
Yeah, the V9, the V9, the V9.
The Winnie.
Phoenix V9. No, I mean that it's the only thing that makes sense to me. So that's what I'm writing.
The only thing. The only thing in the world that makes
Well, because
It's on the nose
it's a
for a women's
girl.
team.
Because
Yeah.
Venus is a girl.
Right. Well, I mean, yes, famously.
Yeah.
Nicole, you.
And it's in the sky. It's celestial. It's the other
Yeah.
key part
I
there.
feel like, in Mayan mythology, like the man is the sun and the woman is the moon. So maybe they're the Phoenix moons.
It's also a moon up
And
there.
they just play with their butts hanging out.
Yeah.
I guess that is kind of easy for immature people to make jokes about.
They actually just back up the whole game.
All right, Pio, you're our resident sports ball expert.
Oh, yeah.
What do you got?
That's 100% correct. That's 100% correct.
Yeah.
We never lie. We're talking about Phoenix, right? It's Arizona, a lot of drugs, a lot of problems, but that's not important. What's important is the basketball teams, the Suns. What is the WNBA team? The Stars. Why? The opposite there. You got stars in the sky. That's what you see in Phoenix.
The sun is a star.
Oh, it is. I know it's a star, but you don't want to have the same name of the teams at the same time. So I'm going with stars.
I actually had it was like a 10-minute date. I could not deal with the guy after this. He thought that we had like a bazillion stars in our solar system and was unwilling to accept that it was one.
That is a weird way to screen a potential mate. But
Okay, and after we've finished discussing Katie's dating life, what is your answer, panel?
I actually did think it was the stars.
The comets, the stars, Sol, and Mercury. That is a point for Nicole with Mercury.
Are they definitely named for the planet and not the element in a thermometer, which would make sense?
Why not both?
Why would the thermometer
I was
make
recently
sense?
invited to a WNBA game, which is why I know this.
There's a team called the Soul.
Shit out of Lux.
SOUL, right? The Philadelphia Soul Arena Football. I don't think that still exists.
Oh, you don't want to
anymore.
call your team SOL though. Most people are going to see shit out of luck.
Sure. Sure.
That is what I
I'll
thought
look
you
that up
had
later.
wrote.
think
I am proud to not know anything about Arizona.
How about the chat? Did they get that one?
The chat did get that one at 80% correct.
All right. Well. I got
All right, your
your
next
another one. Yeah.
your next question. To fuel the MK Ultra project, in the early 50s, the CIA tried to buy 100 million doses of what drug?
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
So it's
A lot
meth
of
or
doses.
special K. MK. What is special K?
That is
Ketamine?
It's ketamine.
It's ketamine.
Yeah.
Ketamine.
Yeah. I think ketamine is a newer drug in that.
Well, no, they've used ketamine to tranquilize animals for a long time.
Why is it special?
Because it makes you feel special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's making it special.
I object to doses. I mean, that's super cool kids calling their illegal drugs doses. Am I right?
I just took a dose of marijuana.
Oh, just one dose? I did 2 doses of marijuanas.
I am a very boring human. Everything I know about drugs I learned from Traffic and Sicario.
I used to read the Hardy Boys, and sometimes they talked about drugs.
There was
Doses
a
of
really good
drugs.
episode
Not
of
doing them.
There was a really good episode of Dragnet called Blue Boy, where they warned you of the dangers of doing acid. And at one point, they called him Blue Boy because he painted his face blue and buried his hand in the sand and overdosed on LSD. And then they were like, "Don't do this."
Is that your answer, Katie?
Dragnet is my answer. I don't know
Dragnet.
I have no idea when any of these drugs busted onto the scene.
All right. Pio.
It's a rare drug, but it is called doses, and that's angel dust. Angel dust.
That is LSD.
That's,
No.
No,
That's PCP.
It is.
PCP.
PCP. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were not paying attention in Just Say No class.
You got robbed, too.
Well, I said no anyway.
Nicole, what do you got?
I was going to say PCP because of the doses clue also. But
Yeah.
PCP is like the thing that everyone's afraid of because sometimes you get weird.
I remember that story where the guy put his little brother in the oven because he thought it was a turkey.
Ah!
PCP story.
Yeah, people
And
jumping
then
out of
there was
windows.
a hook on the door of the car.
All right. Stop talking about my family. What is your answer, panel? LSD, cocaine, LSD, and LSD. Well, 3 out of the 4 of you were correct with LSD. Pio don't know drugs.
Yeah,
Early 50s, the CIA was into it before it was cool. Like,
I only wrote
Yeah.
that down because that episode of Dragnet, and I knew that Dragnet was like late 50s.
they were not influenced by John Lennon.
Did he do? I thought he did pot.
I mean, they all smoked pot, but I mean, no, they
They
dropped
did.
so much acid.
we all did a lot of things.
AJ, again, the Twitch chat knows about drugs, right?
100%. Yeah, LSD.
Yeah. No,
I'm sure that a significant portion of them are on it right now.
They probably also just watched Dragnet.
could be. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, dropping acid and watching Dragnet sounds like a fine Friday night to me.
I was like 5, so it's definitely not.
Let's go on. Yeah, I mean, your whole world is kind of acid colored, isn't it? Let's go on to the next question, AJ.
Your next question. Which former NSYNC member has a book of recipes and a hot dog truck in his native Orlando?
Wow.
Do we have to have a first and a last name?
Probably not. I feel like any boy bander is automatically known by their first name only.
I don't.
Johnny, Donnie, Danny.
Donnie Darko.
Yeah. What would really
This
help
one.
in this question is knowing the members of NSYNC.
I know.
I know the members
3
of
of them.
NSYNC.
Like personally, Nicole?
No.
Tell us.
I was
But I
rec-
was a 12-year-old girl in 1999.
I was
Okay.
looking them up, and there was really only one in the day that I thought was attractive, and he's not still attractive. It's very sad.
Which one?
One of the ones whose names I don't know. It was not Lance, Joey.
Was he the bad boy? Was it AJ?
I
No,
don't
that's the
know.
Backstreet Boy.
Oh no! Oh no!
I was
no,
never.
He
I was never in NSYNC.
No, there's like it was.
You could have been, dude. You
Yeah,
could
it was
have
not. It was not JT, Joey, or Lance. And there's 2 others, and I couldn't tell you if you told me their names. I couldn't tell you which one it was. but it was the good looking of the other. There was one that was like not good looking.
Frank.
One that
There was Frank, right? And Gerard. Those were the other. There was
Gerardo?
I'm more likely to be attracted to a Gerard than a Frank based off of my history.
We have I like how we have this like sort of shadow multiple choice thing going on here. So, in fact, we're kind of all giving.
I'm hoping someone will say the names of the other two.
Yeah, over and over again.
It's kind of what I'm
Patrick. There was J.C. Chazé. There's Joey Fatone. There's Lance Bass, and there's Justin Timberlake. Come on.
Why do you know all of them?
Chris and JC or.
Yeah.
JC.
So Chris
JC,
was underrated because he had bad hair, but that's not his. I mean,
Chris Kirkpatrick, you can get your ass kicked worse than those little Limp Bizkit
bastards.
I think
and Moby.
I think that JC.
We're not going to finish that part of the verse because it's got a bad word in it.
I think JC was the attractive one, but I just don't remember.
I wrote down the answer that I want it to be. I think if you have a book of recipes and a hot dog truck, it should be called Fat Ones, right?
I like Lance Bass because he should have been an astronaut.
It was, in fact, Joey Fatone, the fat one.
The one from my big fat Greek wedding, and the only one that I knew for sure was
he also hosted Family Feud for a minute.
Really? Before or after Steve Harvey?
I think like when he was on break.
I love the shit out of watching Steve Harvey host Family Feud. It's like the most entertaining thing on the planet.
All right. I was a Louis Anderson guy back in the day. He was fine.
No, Steve Harvey.
Ray
Steve
Combs.
Harvey.
Ray
Combs was a great host. Richard Dawson was a great. I mean, like
he's creepy.
What, isn't he a creep?
Truly, that show has been blessed with
Steve
some fine
Harvey. Steve Harvey.
Shit.
Because he like encourages them to be like raunchy, and it is
Yeah, I actually saw him on a show. I have seen Keenan do it many times.
so good.
Yeah, but he also screwed up the Miss America pageant. Why don't we go ahead and move on to the next question?
That was delicious. I loved that.
Your next question, panel. Circa 1870, what president got fined for speeding through D.C. in his horse-drawn carriage?
Who knows
How
who's
dare he
president back
menace
then?
my city like that?
God damn it.
You would prefer it would have no laws? Is that what you're saying?
What number president are we on right now?
46.
So I'm 46 now, and it is 2020.
I mean, it didn't ask what number.
There are definitely
No, I'm trying to
ways
figure
get
out
to this.
about what number it was. So 1870, and then when did we have our first president? 1776 was one. No?
Like not until like the 1780s was George Washington.
Wait, but I thought it was 1776.
No.
That's the Declaration of
But that was
Independence.
when the revolution.
So we were just like hanging out for, okay, so when was
Well, after
Washington?
the Constitution was signed in 1787.
Okay, so what year did Washington start office?
What is speeding in a horse-drawn
89.
carriage? That's what I'm more curious about.
89?
12 miles an hour.
12 miles
1789,
an
I
hour?
think.
Yeah, I just listened to a podcast on this day in esoteric political history.
So you know. So what's the president? Nicole.
They didn't talk about that.
They didn't mention which one it was. We're just talking about the traffic laws of 19th
Okay,
century
so we've had
Washington.
232 years of presidents.
Katie, you're doing too
There
much.
there are faster ways to get to this answer.
Just remember who was president at key moments, and then you can go backwards.
Yeah,
When
so
was
I don't know when key
war?
moments happened. I don't know what happened.
But you know the presidents in order numerically?
No, not that either. But like I
Then
know that.
what are you doing?
I know that.
All right, you
Fillmore
guys.
was
The answer
13.
is
I know Lincoln
answer
was
is-
16, and then I know that several years later, Teddy Roosevelt was the turn of the century, and then there was some time, and then it was Franklin D. Roosevelt, and then there was some more time, and it was Kennedy, and then there was
This is
some more
fascinating.
time, and it was Reagan, and then I'm
Yeah.
good from Reagan on, but don't ask me to do vice presidents.
What are we doing here? What is happening?
She's like, she'll give
what
you
is
30 years
happening?
apart who was president.
The answer is
No, I know some
Rutherford
key-
B. Hayes, and the B stood for be slower.
Yeah.
When was
Called
this?
them Barbies, his supporters.
I only know one president from anywhere in the 1800s, and that's Lincoln. So that's what I'm going to write. I don't. Does he have an L in his name or not? Not at the beginning. Not at the beginning. Does he have
Time
two
is
or one?
up. Time is up. What are your answers?
I think this is.
I thought it was Lincoln too, but
Lincoln Johnson Grant. That's another point for Christopher Short. It was Ulysses S. Grant.
I remember the one after Johnson.
Yeah, no, I mean, Ulysses S. Grant is a pretty obscure character from U.S. history. So
No, he's from Ohio and he got stuck in a bathtub. That's what I know.
No,
about.
that's Taft.
That's Taft.
But
Ulysses S. Grant was like the number one general of the Union Army, Nicole.
He's on the 50, right?
Unconditional
No, that's Sherman.
surrender, Grant. Come on.
Yeah.
If you had told me that Grant was president in 1933, I'd have believed you. If you told me he was president in 1799, I'd have believed
he was real
you.
dead by then.
We
really
think.
don't know when the Civil War was, which I mean, at least you're committed to the to the bit. If
I have no idea when the Civil War. I thought it was like the 1860s.
Yes, it was.
But then what is that? This is the 1870s, and I still have no idea.
Yeah, he was busy during the war.
And next week on Geeks Who Drinks podcast, President Talk, we will have Christopher Short and the return of Eric Cohen. Meanwhile, why don't we go ahead and move on to another question?
Yeah.
Like
Your next question, panel. MC Escher broke big thanks to the long-running Mathematical Games column in what magazine?
Okay.
Instead of giving an answer in this round,
Yeah.
I'm going to eat some mayonnaise for Nicole.
Hang on, no, make him put that in his mouth.
Gross.
Fun.
There's a really good song called "Put It in My Mouth," and I wish that we could play it right now. Nicole's laughing, so she's heard
you want
it.
to sound Nicole?
Mayonnaise. I'm familiar with that one. It's
I know that's. I know. Get away from me.
Dude, that is my favorite song.
I just been realizing that I don't even know when MC Escher lived. He's like the U.S. Civil War for me.
That's a good question.
We really should just stop talking and play as much of "Put It in My Mouth" as we can get through in the next minute and 19
I
seconds.
am familiar with the song. We can all listen to it on our own time. Mathematical games.
I don't even know what MC. I don't even know what MC stands for. Is MC Escher even a real person? Is it just an amalgamation of various artists and mathematicians over the years?
It could be like
Master of Ceremonies Escher.
Yeah.
That had to have been used. Oh God, it's kind of hard to talk after having like a mouthful of mayonnaise.
That is your fault. Yeah.
I did it for you, Nicole. You could get over your fears. You'll survive. Anyway. What's a magazine? How about that one?
Let's go with that. Yeah. Woo.
Say what's a magazine? It's like they come in stands and they have issues, and you open them.
Yes.
They
have issues. That's for sure.
What?
I want it to be highlights for kids.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
Reader's
That's the answer that I wish it was, and
it probably is, but that's not what I'm going with.
Yeah, you know what?
It's the Sears catalog, isn't it? They have a mathematical games column.
Escher was Dutch, right?
Numbers and Shit Monthly is Katie's answer. What is everybody else's? Scientific American, Pop Science, and Highlights for Kids.
It's squares, hexagons, and isosceles triangles. It's very clean.
Oh, nice.
Congratulations, Nicole. You get another point for Scientific American. Chat also got that correct with 75%.
When I go to
now
airports,
I know Chet.
I pick up The Economist, Ebony Magazine, and Scientific American because I'm diverse.
I get The Economist. That's the only one.
What are magazines? I don't even know.
They're like, look, if you
it's a little square on your cell phone, and when you tap it, it opens up.
Exactly, like News Plus. That's magazines. All right. I don't know where we are. How many do we have left?
We are on our final question of the evening.
I actually did. I got that right. Look, 10.
Well done.
I will save my money on that abacus for another day.
All right.
You did screw it up multiple times over the course of the day.
Your final question of the evening. Starkenberg Castle in Austria lets you swim in vats filled with 42,000 pints of warm what?
Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
Why are you doing this to me?
Look, it even says it right here. From Starkenburg Castle. Produced by Starkenburg Castle. Unilever. Si habla español. 1-800. No, you don't have to read the whole thing.
All right.
There you go. This is a trick question. It's water. That's what it is. It's a spa.
Absolutely hilarious.
Why are we measuring it in pints? Austria is definitely
ice cream. Oh my god! Could you imagine just like 42,000 pints of melted like chunky monkey?
Warm ice cream.
I'm lactose intolerant.
So am I, but the thought of just swimming in melted chunky monkey is hilariously
warm sherbet?
disgusting.
How about that? Warm sherbet?
Prosciutto.
Sherbet has milk in it.
Okay. Sorbet. Warm sorbet. I'll get there. I will find a dessert you can eat, Nicole, that is not mayonnaise.
You know, the worst lactose-free ice cream is the oat milk ones. They just taste like chalk.
Yeah, I tried to make my own oat milk once, and it just kind of, again, it tasted like yeah.
That said, I do bathe in oatmeal once a week.
Sure.
It keeps your skin
Because you have
voided.
chickenpox?
You're
No.
forced to.
It keeps your skin like velvet.
Furry?
Why would you want someone touching you? I don't understand. Just in general, not you
One of the few
specifically.
things I've learned in my studies of the humanoids is that physical contact can be enjoyable.
It's helping.
If enough mayonnaise is
That's the lie. That's the lie
If
right there.
enough mayonnaise is involved, the contact can be enjoyable.
So Starkenburg Castle in Austria is owned by Tony Stark, and that's why the answer is
Sweat.
liquefied iron.
Gatorade.
Warm liquefied iron. Got
Warm
it.
liquefied iron. Yeah.
How close is
That's physically possible.
How close is Austria to Belgium?
Pretty close.
Okay, then I'm confident that
Your
it is.
definition of close.
I don't know where they are next in relation
They're
to
both
each
in
other.
Europe.
Your time is up. What are your answers?
One kind of invaded the other during World War II.
I really wanted to be
Schnapps,
the
beer,
Austrian national
beer.
beverage.
And chocolate.
It's gotta be
Schnapps
chocolate.
is absolutely wrong. The correct answer was beer. That is a point each for Nicole and
That is lame.
Pio.
Schnapps would be a lot more expensive.
Chocolate is the most entertaining possibility, I think.
Well, and also I just want to point out that I started that conversation by saying why are they measuring it in pints, and that was the fucking key to the whole thing. So
Why?
tell me,
Why is that
The
the
only
key?
things
this
that
is my
get measured
first
in
time
pints is ice cream and
experiencing
beer.
Geeks Who Drink
Blood.
questions.
Could have been blood.
But you don't measure you measure schnapps in like ounces.
Exactly. I gave a bad wrong answer because I didn't listen to myself, and that's a lesson somehow. All right.
That was our last question.
Yeah, on that cautionary tale, it's all that's left is for you guys to tell us who won. So,
Well, I should tell you who won based on points. And
AJ, your input is not needed.
Okay. Well, how about if I go ahead and read this script
Doesn't
in front of
matter.
me? It addresses everything that everybody is saying right now. Type exclamation point the word vote, a space in the first name of the person who you thought did the best job tonight, whatever that means to you. It could be the only person who answered the first question correctly. That was me. Anyway, before you do that, let's find out one pertinent piece of information, which is AJ. Which one of us scored highest during the technically incorrect round?
Well, as always, it was the chat.
Yeah, but the chat can't vote for itself.
Yeah.
But
Didn't
for the
program it
panel,
Yeah.
it was actually a tie between Christopher and Nicole. Christopher and Nicole
To demand
tied
a
this evening.
recount. I want to recount. Does that include my pity point from earlier?
No, it doesn't, but Pio would have come in fourth place. Katie, you would have come in third, but I just deducted points for that.
Okay, here's the deal, chat. This is one of those like justice moments where you can vote against AJ and his unwillingness to give me the points that I.
All right.
deserve.
Once again, the way to vote for whoever you want to vote for, like me, the person who's never won. Exclamation point, vote, space, and then the first name of your answer. We're going to find out right after this who you voted for. So stick around. See you in a minute. All right, everybody, we are back. I have just learned that my wife still has not voted for me even once. So thanks, sweetie. sleep on the couch tonight. Remember that the fun doesn't stop when we reveal our winner. You can see everything else we're up to at geekswhodrink.com and or by following us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. We give good content. Find us there. Speaking of which, subscribe to this very channel if you haven't yet. And why haven't you, damn it? Anyway, without further ado, AJ, who's our winner?
Starting at the bottom of the stack with 0% of the vote was Katie.
Oh, good. All right, it's not me.
And tied with Katie, also with 0% of the vote, was Christopher. Coming in second place this evening with 40% of the vote, Nicole, which means our winner is Jon Pio with 60%.
It was all, embrace the power of mayonnaise, Nicole. Embrace it.
Katie and Christopher, I'm going to donate 20% each to you.
Thank you. That's so sweet.
AJ, do you know who Christopher's wife voted for? That's what I'm curious about.
I believe it was
Not
Nicole.
So it would probably be Nicole. You got the wife points. Well done.
All right. Well, I don't know. There's nothing else to do here, really. So thanks for watching. As always, make sure you come back next week to find out if Pio is still technically correct.
Technically correct, together forever. Technically correct, surviving the weather. Technically correct, birds of a feather, and I got a new obsession. Technically correct with you.
Technically Correct was filmed in front of a live internet audience.